Today in our 2013 Chrysler Town and Country, we will be having a look at and showing you how to install the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with a 4-pole flat trailer connector, part number C56331. Now this wiring harness is fairly unique in the regards that we have a nice module here that is nice and sealed from the elements with the silicone gel insert in here. This prevents any moisture or contamination from getting inside, causing corrosion or possible damage to the sensitive electronics inside. Now the reason this box is a great thing to have is because this will isolate your vehicle's expensive lighting circuit from your trailer. So if you have a short on your trailer, you don't have to worry about any voltage being backfed into your Town and Country, causing potential damage. Here's what our wiring looks like installed. This 4-pole flat wiring harness will give us the basic lighting functions that are required by law in order for us to safely and legally tow a trailer. This white wire here provides our necessary ground connection between our Town and Country and our trailer. This brown wire here is for our tail light and our running light circuit. And on this circuit, we will have 6 amps of total power output, which is more than adequate to tow a trailer with a few incandescent light bulbs. Probably can run as many LED light bulbs as you want because they do draw less power. The yellow wire is for our left turn signal and left brake light, and the green wire is for our right turn signal and right brake light. On both of those circuits, you will find 3 amps of power output. We also have this nice dust cover that's built in to help protect our connector when it's not in use from the elements. I also like to put a little bit of dielectric grease inside to help protect it as well. We have this available on our website. This will just deter any corrosion from happening from any potential moisture. Now, when you want to store your wiring harness, you can use the dust cover to clip it around your hooks for your safety chains on your hitch. This will keep it from dangling and make it readily accessible for when you need it. Now that we've gone over some features, we'll show you how to get it installed. To begin our install, we'll open up our hatch. Now we need to remove our tail light assemblies. We have 2 10mm screws, one on the top, one on the bottom, that we need to remove. Now we can pull back on the tail light assembly, wiggle it back and forth a little bit, find a connector. It's a red tab, slide it back, then we'll press down the black tab and pull to separate. We'll do the same for the other side. Now our T-connector that has the single green wire on it, we'll drop this down behind our tail light opening on the driver's side. We'll do the same for our 4-pole flat connector. Now the T-connector with the yellow and brown wire will connect with the vehicle wiring harness on the driver's side. It only goes in one way, so just line it up. Push till it clicks. And there you go. Now the black wire that comes off of our module, it's already stripped back a little bit. Take one of our butt connectors, stick it over the wire, and we will crimp it into place. Now we'll take one end of the black roll wire that comes with our kit, strip back some insulation, stick it in the other end, and we'll crimp it down. Now we'll take some electrical tape and wrap up our connector. From this point forward, every butt connector that we use, we'll wrap in electrical tape. This will just help prevent the elements from getting inside, causing a short or a poor connection. Now the other end of the black wire, we'll drop that down behind our driver's side tail light as well. Now the white wire that comes off of our module with the Rein terminal, this is our ground wire. We need to attach this to the vehicle sheet metal. Right in this area will be fine. And let's use the provided self-tapping screw. That'll give us a nice solid ground connection. Now on the back side of our module here, the flat part, We'll take one side of our double-sided tape, peel it off, place it on the back, press down nice and firm, peel off the other side, and we'll stick it on the back side edge of our bumper cover right about this area here. Okay, now we will take our driver's side taillight and plug in the T-connector to it. Once we hear the click, we'll lock it in place by sliding the red tab back, down. And now we'll slide the driver's side taillight back into its original position. I took the liberty to go ahead and route our 4-pole flat connector and the connector for our passenger side. Our wires go behind the fascia support tabs here. We have the slack for the 4-pole flat zip tied up and secured. 4-pole flat we just secured to the hitch safety chain loops here. The green wire for the passenger side goes over our exhaust. I drop down a pull wire behind our passenger side taillight connector. Okay, we'll pull our connector up, remove our pull wire. We'll connect with the vehicle wiring harness, pull up the excess slack so it's not dangling below the vehicle, and we'll secure it to the wiring harness with a zip tie. Our taillight will plug in now. So our tab is pushed in. We routed our power wire towards the front of the vehicle, making sure to avoid any moving parts and sources of heat. We went through a slot here in our hitch, secured it to our subframe through this hole with a zip tie, went above our rear shock mount, went to the side of our fuel tank, secured it to our parking brake cable, working our way forward. Wrapped it around our front subframe mount. And now we have a pull wire that we drop down from the engine bay, and we'll connect the two and pull the wire inside. We'll secure it to this wiring harness with a zip tie coming out of our firewall to keep any slack from falling underneath the vehicle. We'll do it again over here to the power wire that goes into our fuse box. This way, if we need to service our battery, this wire won't be in the way. Now we'll measure off how much we need to make a connection to our battery. Cut off the excess. Strip back the insulation. Take one of our butt connectors, stick it over the wire, crimp it. Our fuse holder has a continuous loop of wire, so we'll cut it in the middle to have two separate ends. Strip both back. One end, we'll get the ring terminal. Doesn't matter which one. The other end will go into our butt connector. With the crimps, we can now tape up our connection like we did in the back. Now we'll open our fuse holder, ensure that there's no fuse in there. We'll remove the nut from our positive post in our battery. It's a 10mm. Take this sleeve off here too. Slide the ring terminal over the stud, reinstall the sleeve, and put the nut back on. And we'll tighten it. Now we'll take our 15-amp fuse and install it into the fuse holder and close the dust cover. And now we'll test out our wiring. We're using a 4-pole flat tester that we have available on our website as part number I26. The reason we're using this over just hooking up to a trailer is because if we had a burned out light bulb or a wiring problem on the trailer, we wouldn't be able to tell if our vehicle's working properly. Start by turning on our headlights. And as you can see, our tail lights and running light functions are working properly. Left turn signal now, that's working. Right turn signal, that's working. Step on the brakes, those are working. And we'll operate our turn signals while our foot's on the brake. And as you can see, everything's working as intended.
And that completes our look at and showing you how to install the Curt T-connector vehicle wiring harness with 4-pole flat trailer connector, part number C56331 on our 2013 Chrysler Town and Country.